Hi everyone, welcome to Here We Are, Brattleboro's community talk show. I'm Wendy O'Connell, and folks from the community come on the show to talk about who they are and what they do. And today, with 2 skillets and a dream, Marcel Maxwell created 802 Soul Kitchen, a catering business offering big flavor, comfort food, imbued with his own generous spirit and unique recipes. He spent this summer in a local pop-up tour, setting up during Gallery Walk, Old Home Days, and the Guilford Fair, to name just a few of the many venues where he was. Today, Marcel is going to share some of his stories about how he came to the area, fell in love with food, and how, for him, giving back to the community is at the heart of it all. Hi, Marcel.
How's it going, Wendy? Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on the show, because I know you've had a busy summer and you're in the middle of a lot of catering things going on.
Yeah, it's pretty busy.
Now, you don't have a truck.
No.
So you are carrying your kitchen with you, pretty much. You
Yep.
cook at home?
Yep, cook at home, or the kitchen we use at St. Bridget's Kitchen. Jen and the cooks over there let us use the kitchen. And when we have bigger events, but for the smaller events, I can do the bulk of the cooking at home. And we just load up the equipment and then we head to the events. And it takes us about an hour to an hour and a half to set up the whole kitchen. And as long as we're set up about half hour before the event, we're good to go.
What do you have for staff? You have a couple of people helping you?
So yes, we have myself, Carrie Ann, Jasmine, Kennedy, and I just spoke to someone new named Wendy. She's going to be helping us out with the caters and stuff like that. Yeah. And also she's going to be helping me dabble with vegan food. We can reach a
wider audience.
Wider audience. Yep.
Do you have any ideas what kind of vegan you're going to have for food?
I know nothing about vegan food, so I'm just going to let Wendy teach, and I'm going to learn.
You're going to learn real fast.
Yeah.
So, that's pretty great. Well, that'll be a new adventure for you.
Yes, it will. It should be fun. And we're thinking about doing a little podcast, Soul and Vegan.
Oh, nice.
So that should be fun.
Soul and Vegan.
Soul and Vegan.
Yeah,
we haven't came down with a name with it yet, but
that's a great idea.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, that'll be great. You'll have some stories to tell, and also just talking to folks about the difference between the different kinds of food. Yeah, that'll be great. So speaking of adventures, in your life, you've had a bunch of different adventures. And did you start out in Boston, in Jamaica Plain?
Yes, I grew up in Jamaica Plain, and I moved to Vermont when I was a couple months before my 24th birthday. So, yeah. So
you grew up there?
Yes.
And you had kind of some challenges growing up?
Yeah, just, struggles and things like that. But I'm still here, That's the important part. My struggles made me who I am today.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't take it back for nothing.
Yeah.
So
you wouldn't take it back for anything. That's saying a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And was food part of your life growing up?
Yeah, my grandmother, she was a big cook in the community, so I always watched her, just learning, paying attention and learning what they're doing, things like that. Her and my mother or whoever's in the kitchen with her, and just paying attention and trying to learn, always learning.
Really?
I'm a hands-on learner, so I learn by watching and doing. So.
But there was something about food that interested you enough to pay attention.
Yeah, well, you want to eat. Everybody wants to eat, right? You get hungry, you want to eat.
So you picked up learning how to cook in a variety of ways, and you're cooking for your friends as well,
Yeah,
right?
it's pretty much, I had to hang out, what you want to call it. Growing up, teenagers, everybody would come over to my house and hang out. Well, I live with my aunt, so it's my aunt's house, but we'd all hang out and eat pancakes or eggs or whatever I was making.
Yeah.
But my favorite thing was pancakes and patelillos. Which
and
is just,
what?
Patelillos, it's like a Spanish beef patty.
Oh.
So I used to make those for my friends. And steakums. Steakums. My friends love my steakums. But yeah, I just always loved cooking, just seeing people smile when they ate my food, it brought a lot of joy, and things like that. So I figured, when I started Soul Kitchen, well, I did start Wings and Things in 2017, and I just try to bring people together through my food.
Wings and Things, I remember that. Where were you located?
I was located out of my house also.
You did it then.
And I just didn't have the right laws in place and I didn't know. I kind of didn't know what I was doing. You know, I was it was still a trial and error process. And the state reached out and they said, I need XYZ. So I stopped doing wings and things, went back to work. And then when my mom passed, then I got laid off from FedEx. That's when I created 802 Soul Kitchen. I was looking for something to just take me away from my mom, dealing with my mom's passing, and dealing with being laid off from FedEx. It was the motivation I needed, you know. I was tired of going to work for companies that I gave my all to, and they could just let me go with the snap of a finger. Right. So it was like, okay, I'm gonna be my own boss, and I'm gonna show people how to treat their employees, and you know, and just how to work together and set up a system, things like that. You know, I have 3 great employees, hoping to add more. And we have some systems that's in play. We're still tweaking them here and there, but they work good for the most part. Everybody knows their role, you know, like, so when we do an event, I'm the cook, Carrie takes the orders, Jasmine's in between, she's plating, Kennedy and Jazz is plating, you know, so we all know our roles and we all know the systems. Yeah. And as long as we follow them systems, you know, we'll be all right. You know, I was reading a podcast that says you can't manage people, but you can manage systems. And as long as we have them systems that's manageable, we'll be good. Yeah. You know? Yeah. If everybody play their part, we'll be good.
You said you're a picky eater.
Yeah, I'm very picky. I was forced a lot of foods that I didn't like. I'm pretty sure a lot of kids went through the same thing. Yeah. And it's like, it messed up my palate. Like, I can't put like mushrooms. You put mushrooms in front of me, I gag. Certain things like if you look at my menu, it's very simple. Yeah. And you know, there's no more than 3 items in any of my dishes. But being picky, I found a solution to make food everyone likes, because if I like it, it has to be really good for me to like it. Yeah. So everyone loves it, you know, if that makes sense. So
yeah, it makes sense. The things that you like are obviously the things that you're really good at making, and but you also put a real emphasis on flavor in your cooking. And I think that you have a unique flavor. I think that, for instance, your collards are pretty, I've never had collards like your collards. And could you talk about that a little bit? Like, is it about the spices? Is it about how you're cooking it? Where does your flavor come from?
My flavor comes from just having a passion to be in the kitchen and put out a good product. It's not necessarily a skill, I would say. It's just from trial and error, you know, like learning. Yeah, right. I've cooked each one of these dishes over 100 times, so it's only going to get better, you know. Like, I don't eat my collard greens. I don't like them. So I always have to have someone there to taste test them. And sometimes I just go in blind, but I don't have recipes for them. A couple of things I don't have recipes for is my yams, my collard greens, or my ribs. You know, I just go in and flavor it. It just comes from the soul. Yeah. And that's my definition of soul food. It's not about race or color. It's more about cooking from the heart, you know, things like that. So anybody can make soul food.
Yeah, and the things that you love. Yeah. You know, cooking the kinds of foods that you would want to eat, as you said. The other thing that I noticed is I feel like you're doing really great marketing. You know, I was looking at your Facebook page, and you've done flyers, you know, and you get the word out about where you are, the whole pop-up tour. I thought it was a really great idea. You have a calendar that's really easy to read. Flyers and that kind of thing. Where did that come from? Did you have help sort of developing that?
No, not really. All my flyers, I do my own. All my marketing is all me. It's just trying to see if this works. And if it doesn't, we'll keep trying until it does work. We'll try to implement a system to make it work, if that makes sense, you know. Yeah. In the beginning, a lot of it was like 99% of it was just me. And just coming up with stuff and trying things, like all my flyers, you know. But it got to the point where other people hit me up to make flyers for them or do work on social media for them, things like that. So,
do you have a little bit of a tech background?
No.
I
didn't graduate high school. I just try. Yeah.
One thing you mentioned, Marcel, and this goes along with kind of your marketing approach, you know, or getting the word out, is that you listen to the community.
Yep.
And so being part of the Brattleboro community, how have you found a way to figure out what the community wants, what you can offer, how that can be a dynamic between you?
Posting and asking questions.
Yeah.
You know, I made a post yesterday asking what people's favorite food is. You know,
idea.
Most of the people, I got a lot of feedback. You know, there was like 1 or 2 people like being trolls or whatever, asking why you in the chat asking these ridiculous questions. But if that question is ridiculous to you, that says everything about you. You know, I'm just trying to get to know my community and vice versa.
Did you get some good feedback?
I got a lot of good feedback.
Did you? Yeah,
know?
anything that was unusual?
It was a lot of stuff that I probably would never try. Some stuff I think I would try, but there was a few things that I'm like, nope, I'm not trying that. You know, but it sounds good, you know, but my palate is not gonna allow. Like, I had a crew from Snow Republic. They came and saw me at Gallery Walk. The whole kitchen crew came out to see me. Like, that was a dope moment, you know. And they brought me T-shirts. They brought me a sandwich, and the sandwich had pickles and pineapple. I don't like pickles on it, but I love pineapple, just not on a sandwich.
Right.
So knowing those things were on that sandwich, it took me about 5 minutes just to bite the sandwich. I eventually did it. I wasn't too fond of the pineapple on this, so I took it off, but the sandwich was delicious, you know, even though it was cold because I was at an event, but it was still a good sandwich.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for that sandwich.
And like you said, you're a picky eater.
Yeah,
so
yes, exactly. So I tried it, and we actually have a podcast we're going to be starting called The Pickiest Eater.
Another one. Good.
Yes, we're going to go around and it's not to throw shade on any restaurants or businesses. It's just to let my following know how picky I am. And it's going to be more like a comedy thing, you know?
Great idea.
It's going to be like, okay, they're going to, my crew on the show is going to pick out a spot for us to go, and they're going to say, here, you have to try this. And whatever they put on that plate, I have to try. So that should be fun. That should be fun.
You're going to have to be brave.
Yeah, I'm going to have to be very brave. I told them nothing raw, no sushi, and nothing like squid or anything. Like, but everything else, I think, and nothing with mushrooms.
Right.
But everything else, I think I'll give it a shot.
You'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
And you'll probably be more apt to give it a shot if you don't know what it is that you're eating, right?
But if I don't know, I'm gonna be mad when I find out. But yeah, I think that'd be fun.
It would be fun.
Yeah, and I think it'll give my fans and my followers a little more insight on who I am and why I have the style I have. So.
Yeah. Well, it's always to get people laughing.
Yes,
for one thing, right?
Definitely.
There was something that I read that you started or worked on a vendors network in town. Is that right?
Yes. So I met my friend on TikTok, a friend of mine. I met her. She lived in Texas at the time. And I met her through TikTok, and just the support she had for me from afar. Like, she was supporting me more than my friends, my close family members support me. It was like, I share a post, I make a post, she shares it, she likes it, she comments on it. And she gave me the idea to start a vendors network where we all do the same thing. Her name is Crystal Rogers, and she has a clothing line called RepN-You Unlimited. So what's it called? RepN-You Unlimited.
RepN-You Unlimited.
RepNYou. Go check it out. She has some pretty cool clothing. It's simple, straightforward, but it's about repping each other. And she gave me the concept to start the Vendors Network. And it started with me, her, and my close friend who's like my brother, Kendrick, who owns CCR of New England, who I also do work for. And it started with us three. And a childhood friend of mine, League Williams, she has Slushies by League, and then it just grew. And now it's about 12 to 15 of us, small business affiliations, and we all like just help each other grow, from sharing what's on the platforms or just, you know, hitting each other up and saying, hey, you got this, you know, I'm going into a big event. I've had a couple people today hit me up after what went on and say, hey, you're going on TV, don't worry about the negative. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the Vendors Network does. You know, we support each other, we hold each other accountable, and we keep each other in good spirits.
That's excellent. That's really wonderful. And this is across states, it sounds like.
Yes. Yeah. But it's picking up locally. Like right now, we have a lot of local businesses that support now. Like Mocha Joe's in the Tower. I'm affiliated with them.
Yep.
I consider them part of the network, you know, because they help me. I sell 2 honey bun cakes a week to Mocha Joe's, and they're gonna be actually up in that order to about 3 or 4 during the winter time. So so we help each other grow, you know. 'Cause I do a lot of legwork, I do a lot of homework, and I've done a lot of that with no resources, nothing. I don't have a vehicle. Before I started this, I was on the verge of getting evicted or being homeless because I just was struggling, you know? So I came up out that myself, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And like I said, this was before I had the kitchen, you know? So I had to deal with those things myself. I went and I met these business owners and said, hey, can we work out a relationship? And then it goes from there. And then they allow me to pop up at their spot. I think I got all my good things coming to me because of what I do for the community, you know, and what I do to help others, not just help myself.
Yeah, and also, you know, the whole thing about supporting each other. I think in a community our size, you know, we kind of all know who each other are. And if we can, there's no reason not to help each other.
There's no reason whatsoever. I have a following of 4,000 people on my page, and I only get about 3% of them supporting me. So that says a lot. That says a lot, you know. Yeah,
and Facebook is tricky with those kind of numbers too. You know, I mean, it's more about, you know, who shows up to have your food, you know, wherever you're going to be. You had some help from Sevka.
Yeah, Sevka's been a big part of this. Sevka, Kerry, Jasmine, Kyle, my son, my oldest daughter. Even other business owners, like there's a few people I follow on Instagram. Like there's one chef, Chef Eli. He does hibachi soul. You know, I love watching that dude. Harmony's Kitchen. You know, she was one of the first people I watched when I first started because she was local. She was African American, and she's a woman. In Vermont, doing the same thing I did, just in Burlington, you know.
And so what was the name of her post?
Harmony's Kitchen, VT. I'm pretty sure she's been out like 4 or 5 years, and I got a lot of inspiration from watching her.
Yeah, that's really great. And you know, the state of Vermont has a lot of things, a lot of small things like that. That a lot of people working really hard in a very distinct area, but connecting with other people. Also, you've had some involvement with the Root Social Justice.
Yeah, the Root actually booked a couple of my first caters. The Root and Susu Farm was my first big event in Brattleboro. Well, it was in Newfane, but that was like my first big pop up, and that was amazing. It was a stressful day. We were because we were still in the trial and error stage, not knowing how much time we needed to prep. So I was like pressed for time. And on my way there, I passed the road, and it was a Y, but it was up on a hill, right? And so I tried to back up, and I tried to go on this side of the Y, and my car got stuck. I started to break down and lose it, and I just was like, I was hitting the wheel. Like, why did I take that turn? Beating myself up. And the guy, he must have seen this happen over and over because he lived right there. So he seen multiple people do it. And he came out and he got me. He got his truck and he got me out. And it only took about 10 minutes. So he was my hero that day. And I was ready to break down and just call it quits because this was my first big event. Like my first time people was going to see the pop-up, you know? And like, it was really frustrating to get caught up on the curb like that. But we got pulled out. We got to the event, and we had a huge line all day. It was a great feeling. We made about $1,000 that day. It was my first pop-up.
Oh, that's pretty good.
And not profit, but to know my ideas and my concept really worked. And even though the kitchen wasn't organized like it is now, like we had everything all over the place. I had like 1 table, you know, now we have 3 tables. So it was like stuff stacked up. It was a mess, you know what I'm saying? But it's trial and error, you know?
Yes, it's trial and error. And also, you know, I really get the sense that you are really motivated to make this work, you know, and to have this work in the community. And to knowing that you don't have to do it alone, I would think would be extremely helpful.
And the team I have behind me, the followers, they really show up for me and they really support me.
Right.
They really do.
You know, I know one thing too is that, you know, in our community, because it is sort of close-knit in its own way, we're all, like we said, helping each other. But I also know that a lot of people get called on for donations, you know, are you willing to donate your time for this or that? And I think that that's a tricky thing in our community, because I think, you know, like probably all the pop-ups in town, you know, or all the small businesses in town are just kind of, they're making it work, you know, but they're very slim margins.
So the thing with donation, people don't even realize it doesn't take money to contribute.
Got it.
That's the concept of Vendors Network. Right. All it takes is you clicking a button, you sharing. So for instance, say me, I'm at Turning Point. You sharing my Turning Point post can help out the next person that doesn't have a mail. You get what I'm saying? It doesn't take money to donate. It doesn't take money to contribute. You know, people need to get over this notion. Like, all you got to do to help out is click a button for the most part. And someone that needs a mail will see my post, because they're not on my Facebook, but they're on yours. Right. And you sharing that, they say, oh, he's at Turning Point. Let me go feed my stomach. Let me go feed myself. Little things like that. People don't understand how far they go. So and that's why I made a post about engage. And then I had trolls on there. Oh, I got engaged in there. You know, it's like, come on, we really trying to do something. You know what I'm saying? We really trying to do something. And, you know, I do get paid off of engagement, but what people don't know, that money that I make off engagement goes to what I do for Turning Point, goes to what I do for the youth when I set up these youth programs or whatever it is. Any donations I'm doing, that's where all my funds, and I still come out of pocket. I still come out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? So the funds I make from my social media platforms, that's what that goes to. And I still come out of pocket.
So you're finding a way to balance this.
Yes.
You're finding a way to make it work for you and to have your business sustainable, but also to bring it back into the community.
Yeah. And then, like I said, it's not hard, because like I've been doing this with nothing. Like my business just got on the up the last few months. Before that, we might look like we're, you know, because it takes a long time for a business to actually make profit. People don't know that. Just because you see me on all these platforms, on the radio, whatever case, I'm not rich. You know, I have people messaging me for money, all types of things. I'm broke. Yeah. Like I struggle still.
I think that's why it's great that you're getting your word out, you know, among all these other things. You just did a really wonderful thing for BCTV this summer, Creamies for Community Media, where you set up at Lilac Ridge Farm. And thank you, Amanda Ellis-Thurber.
Yes. I met Amanda, and we will be getting our collard greens from Lilac Ridge Farm. So the collard greens will be sourced locally from now on. Great. As long as they have the amount we need.
That's great.
Yes.
But again, you know, that's a perfect case in point. You know, you meet somebody, you find out what are you growing. Yeah.
Especially if you know if they're local, why not support local?
That's right.
Why not? You know?
Yeah. That was a great evening, and you raised some money. You know, and you were able to break even at least. Yep. And it was on a farm, you know, which was really lovely too. So everybody who came to that event saw the farm. They also have creamies all summer long.
Yes. Oh, those creamies were so good.
They're really good.
I've never had a creamy. I've had soft serve.
Yeah.
But I didn't really know the difference.
Yeah.
That was delicious.
Yeah, it was really good.
That was delicious. I wanted another one.
You know, it'll be interesting to see if that becomes an annual event, because it was it's a perfect way to spend a summer evening.
Yes, it is.
And you've had a lot of those this year, a lot of good summer evenings.
Yes, we have.
Marcel, you know, we've been talking about you being part of the community and working with different people, and you've mentioned quite a few people already. Are there other folks that you'd like to give a shout out to? Just like I said, my team, Chris Meyer, Kyle, Kerry, Jazz, my kids, Mama T's, the whole cohort, my bro Kendrick, just everybody, y'all really keep me afloat, and y'all hold me accountable in the areas I need accountability, and that's the biggest thing for me. We can't get better without accountability. So yeah, just keep doing what y'all do. Y'all keep me motivated. Y'all keep me going. So yeah, I appreciate y'all for that. And if I forgot anybody, you know what's love. You know, Cookie, the whole Vendors Network, my whole following. You know, you guys help me put myself out there. I don't worry about the few trolls.
they motivate me too, honestly. You know, I take that whenever I get angry because someone said, it's not even anger, it's just like, you know, it's frustration. Because when you're trying to do something good and then you have people trolling and trying to bring you down or kick you when you're actually doing something good, it's frustrating, you know. But I use that as a tool. You don't have to respond to in the same way. You can be better, you know. So.
Yep. Well said. All well said. I think that we have a special guest who would like to come on and be with us for a few minutes, talk a little bit about 802 Soul Kitchen, whose name, oddly enough, happens to be Marcel Maxwell. How is that possible? Hello, Marcel.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Good.
Good. You're here with your dad today in the studio, BCTV. You're on television, and you can see yourself in the camera a little bit, right? Yeah. So, is it true that you help your dad out a lot with the kitchen? Do you? What kinds of things do you do?
Like I help him like soft the bread down. No, I mean like the mac and cheese down. Like
you put the cheese on top.
Put the cheese on top, yeah. So you work in the kitchen with him a lot. What's your favorite thing to eat?
The mac and cheese.
Is it number one all time?
With what?
With candy yam sauce.
And the candy yam sauce? Yep. Pretty sweet, huh? Yeah, almost like dessert?
Yeah.
Okay, so
kinda.
let's talk about the other really cool dessert that your dad makes that he sells to Mocha Joe's.
You know what that is? You didn't like it before, but now you do.
Honey bun cake.
Honey bun cake. Yeah, could you tell us about that? What you know what's in it? What does it taste like?
Tastes like cake sometimes. Tastes like cake, but it's like a cinnamon bun. But instead it has like pecans on it. And
That sounds pretty good. So if you were going to sit down with a piece of that, what would you have with it? Would you have a glass of milk?
probably some water.
Water.
No ice cream? None of your vanilla ice cream?
Oh, ice cream.
Ice cream. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. And so the favorite thing is the mac and cheese. You're getting to like the honey bun cake. What do you like best about being out there with your dad?
Just chilling with him, just doing events with him, and just like chilling out with him.
Just hanging out with him? That's a great thing. All right. You having a good summer?
Yeah.
Yeah? What's the best thing about this summer so far?
I'm glad I'm hanging out with my family. I'm having fun this summer, and I'm having a great summer.
Enough said. That's perfect. A good summer. There's nothing like a good summer and hanging out with your dad and your family. Well, Marcel, thank you for being on the show. It's been a pleasure. I'm really glad that you got to be here with us today. And can you show your t-shirt? Because it's so cool. 802 Soul Kitchen, folks.
802 Soul Kitchen.
All right. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. You can stick around.
You can stay.
You can stay. Yep. So, Marcel, thank you, Marcel. I got four eyes looking at me when I say Marcel. Marcel, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you
and for sharing all about 802 Soul Kitchen and a little bit about your life and how you're doing here in Brattleboro. And it's great, the support you're giving and the support that you're getting. Yeah, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Marcel, thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. All right. See ya.
Peace.
Thanks to all of you for being with us today. It was a pleasure to have you with us with two Marcels, not just one. Get a great 2-for-1 deal here today at BCTV on Here We Are. So tune in again. We will be back next week, and thanks for joining us.